MOM Radio and Pipe Bomb Radio present Not Your Mama's Radio Show with your hosts, former WWE superstars Oscar, Sir Mo, and Dreamy Mimi.
Welcome, everybody, to Not Your Mama's Radio Show. Here are your hosts, Oscar and Dreamy Mimi.
Hello.
Hey, Felix, how you doing?
People.
Hey, guys. How's everything going over there? I think you guys are, like, in
Pretty
two different
good.
parts of the country right now, right?
Yep.
Well, we never do the show together. See, that's the secret to a happy marriage. We're never together.
Whatever.
Y'all know you miss each other. You know you do.
Nah, yeah, I do miss you, honey. How are you?
I'm good. I miss you, too.
I can't wait to get home.
How's Jersey out there? Is the weather pretty good?
It's hot. I mean, it's hot as HE double hockey sticks out here.
Yeah, it's pretty hot over here. I can't imagine what it's like over there with Mimi.
Yeah. What's it like out there, Mimi, in the Midwest?
It's actually pretty beautiful today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It kind of got dark, like it was going to rain. But right now, it's really nice. The wind is blowing nicely. It's warm, but it's a nice breeze.
Yeah, no, we got that East Coast mug outside where it gets really, really humid and muggy out here, along with the heat. So, keeping in our weekly tradition, we get an update from Felix. Felix, I got a present for you. Here you go. How it go? Rising up, back on this street, yeah. Took my time, took my chances. It's the eye of the tiger. It's the cream of the crop. How is it going, Felix?
That was pretty cool. It's going good. I mean, I'm down 80 pounds and counting. I mean, my 100-pound goal is it's in my vision. It's coming.
Amen.
It'll be here, if not by the mid part of the summer, for sure by the end, for sure.
Yep.
Now, Dreamy, have you seen any of the latest pictures that Felix has posted?
No, I haven't.
He's got pictures on Facebook right now. If you're his Facebook friend, but I looked at the picture today. He looks way different from when we saw him not very too long ago when we all with the Lucha Underground. He looks way smaller. Yep.
You know, people say that. You know, it's funny that we ourselves are our own worst critics, and we don't always notice the changes, but everybody else would notice it. You notice that?
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it just from the picture, dude. You look really good. Wait, now are you noticing your clothes starting to loosen up? Like, are they starting to get too big for you?
Oh, sure, absolutely. That's been some of my favorite things to look at when I get into clothes that I couldn't. They were either really tight or couldn't fit, and now they're feeling pretty loose and wearable.
Clothes don't lie.
You know.
All right, well, keep up the good work. I mean, yeah, you're going to reach that goal, sometime this summer, because the way you going, you dropping at least, 5, 6, 7 pounds a week, aren't you?
Actually, that was my last weigh-in. I had dropped her another 5 pounds, which is why it put me at 80. And Yeah, I'm still going strong. I mean, I'm trying, like I said, I'll either hit the goal by the mid part of the summer or for sure by the end. But yeah, I'm definitely trying to keep the momentum going, and the heat inside the gym is so ridiculously hot. I swear I'm sweating off a good 2 or 3 pounds just moving around.
All right, folks, we have got a another really good show tonight. There were a couple of guys on last week that had such a good time that they're coming back again this week. Our guest tonight, back again for round 2 to promote the Eternal Tranquility charity event this weekend, is going to be Glen Kelly and Glen walking around the mall, which I'm at the Monmouth County Mall right now, broadcasting live, by the way. Walking around the food court right now is the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase. He's going to be on tonight because he's going to be here with me live at the Monmouth County Mall. We are going to be answering fan questions and just having a good time. And calling us from 10 minutes away is, again, the one and only Jake the Snake Roberts. So we are going to have another good time, a lot of good discussion. But we start tonight with, this is Black Thursday. This is literally sad Black Thursday. Now, I was singing Eye of the Tiger earlier.
Yeah.
And that is from, of course, the Rocky movies, Rocky 3 with Mr. T. The guy who executive produced the Rocky movies, Robert Chardoff, passed away today. Now, in case you're not familiar, the Rocky movies were catapulted Sylvester Stallone to stardom. Now, Dreamy, you are an avid fan of these movies. What do the Rocky movies mean to you?
I love them. I can sit and watch a Rocky marathon all day. You know that. I love the Rocky movies. Just the story of the underdog and his determination, and just to climb that ladder to get on top.
I mean, yeah, and that was the brainchild of Irwin Winkler and Robert Chardoff, and sadly, Robert Chardoff died today. But in addition to that, Christopher Lee, and we're talking about not the original Dracula, but a guy that played Dracula to the horror icon. I mean, the guy also played Gandalf's mentor in the Lord of the Rings movies, Count Dooku in Star Wars Attack of the Clones, who not only beat up Anakin Skywalker, but beat up Obi-Wan Kenobi, too. I mean, this guy was, for you guys out there that are horror fans and fans of movies alike, Christopher Lee is like one of the most famous actors globally, and we lost him today.
Yeah.
And another actor named, I can't remember his last name, Ron
Moody.
Moody. Okay, yep. He just passed away.
Wow. Now, to those of us in the wrestling business, the one that hits home, that hits the hardest, is we lost the American Dream daughter, Dusty Rhodes, today. And I got to tell you, well, Jake the Snake is here, and the $1 Million Man is here, and the both of them actually came up in the business with Dusty, and I can tell you, I mean, coming into New Jersey today, it's really hitting them as all of us, but you can really see how it really personally affects them because they had a working relationship with the man going back to the beginning. So we're definitely going to dedicate this show tonight to the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, and it's really a godsend we got these two individuals on tonight, because in addition to talking about other things, you're going to get to hear some stories about Dusty from guys who actually went up and down the road with the man. So this is going to be a really, heartfelt, wrenching show. But here at Not Your Mama's Radio Show, and we're going to let Minister Gerard attest to this for a second. Dreamy Minister Gerard. We don't celebrate passing away here. We learn to celebrate life. So that's what we're going to do. And how important is that?
It's important to celebrate life because we get, caught up in, of course, we mourn the person that we've lost, But it's important to remember that person and remember their legacy, what they meant to you, what they meant to the world, and what they contributed to this world. So it's just important to remember the person and all of the positive things that they did and accomplished and not lose sight of those things and not allow those things to die with them. That's how you keep the person's legacy alive, is when you speak about what they meant to you and what they did, what they accomplished.
I have so many dreams with Dusty. I swear I can think back to him and Sweet Sapphire taking on the Macho King and the Sensational Queen at WrestleMania 6 with a Miss Elizabeth ringside.
Now, sadly, as much as I've been up and down the business, up, down, side to side, east, north, west, and south, I never had the opportunity to meet Dusty Rhodes. Never had the opportunity to meet him, and it's one of the regrets of my life. But I'll tell you guys, and I'll started off with the story of how he indirectly influenced me being in this business. When I was little with my brother Michael, when we used to watch wrestling, especially down south, Dusty Rhodes was larger than life. He was the biggest icon in the South. In my opinion, back in the Crockett promotion, the territories back then, when you had Mid-Atlantic wrestling, you had Georgia wrestling, you had Florida wrestling, we revered Dusty Rhodes more than anybody else that was on television. We had a lot of them that we liked. We loved Ric Flair. We loved Wildfire, Tommy Rich, Mike Graham, and Steve Keirn. We loved all of them, but Dusty Rhodes really, really stood out. And I say that he's responsible for me being in the business because me being a fan of his and then coming up to, and when I came back home in New York and he went and joined WWF, he was one of the first ones that I saw live at Madison Square Garden when I went to go see wrestling live, and I was just a fan of wrestling because I was a fan of Dusty Rhodes, among others, but I was a big fan of Dusty Rhodes. Anyway, had I not been interested in wrestling, I never would have recognized Macho Man Randy Savage at that fateful day at Caesar's Palace, which led to me actually getting my job and subsequently a contract to be in WWF. So it just, everything has a way of tying in together. And I'm going to tell you all, in case you don't know, the magnitude of who this man is. He's going to be sorely missed by fans, wrestling aficionados, and people in the business alike.
No doubt. This loss definitely hurts a lot of people. Almost as much as when we lost Randy a few years ago.
Yeah, I mean, when you lose anybody, it's tragic. But when you lose an icon like that, that's affected the lives of so many people in this business. I mean, he inspired a lot of us to be in the business. He mentored a lot of us while we were in the business. A lot of us, he's the guy that when men say women want to be with him but men want to be him, that's Dusty Rhodes.
He was definitely he was often imitated but could never be duplicated, that's for sure.
And the legacy that he left with Goldust and Stardust, Cody and Dusty Rhodes, respectively, it's just a testament to the talent that he had and the talent that he bred. Because Cody and Dustin are two of the most talented in-ring workers in WWE today, but that's a testament to their lineage.
Absolutely. I was definitely blessed to be there in Detroit to see Cody and Dustin induct their father. I posted the pictures that I took when I was out there in Detroit at the Fox Theater to see his induction. It was just, I'm just glad I got to be part of it. I'm definitely glad I got to be part of it. Or not even not part of it, but I mean be in the audience, if you will. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, no, that makes you a part of it because that's history. Anytime you're there when a historical moment happens, whether you're on stage, on the dais, or you're in the audience watching, look at the people who actually have lived long enough to say that they were there to hear Martin Luther King speak. They were part of that history because a lot of us can't say that, we were there. And 50 years from now, people are still going to remember Dusty Rhodes. And when you're still living, Felix, and you're talking about all of your biggest wrestling moments. I remember being a part of the Men on a Mission podcast. I produced that show. Yeah, all right, Grandpa, eat your applesauce. You'll also be able to say, I was there when they inducted Dusty Rhodes into the Hall of Fame. I mean, I was right there. I mean, I felt the guy, you can embellish, I felt the guy sweat when he was making his speech. But nobody can say you lying because you really was in. You were there.
That's true.
Do you
That's
still have that
true.
ticket?
Got to be part of any historic moments. I'm very proud of that.
Do you still have that? Do you still have that ticket stub?
Actually, I do. I have it put away in my room. I've gotten everything that I've gone to over the last. I've been to 7 WrestleManias, so I've got some memorabilia with me. So.
Yeah, well, you ought to save that because you got to save that because one day.
Are you kidding? That's going to be buried with me when the good Lord takes me. I'm taking it with me.
No, you got to sell it off when it's worth thousands of dollars because you never know. One day these things have a tendency to be worth a lot of money because you can't find anymore. So the one it goes all the way back to I get sick when I think of the comic books that I used to have. I used to have that. I actually had that comic book as a kid. Spider-Man versus Superman. That comic book today is worth like $30,000. I actually had it.
Oh my!
Can you imagine? If I mean, I had it. I owned it. I went up to Sarge's, who was the comic book store, and actually bought it and had it, and didn't know what I had. 40 years ago. So
I think somebody had tried to call in, but I think they may have hung up. They may try to call back in again. I think it might have been Mr. Kelly that's trying to call in, but I'm not sure because it came from a 732 area code.
What was
732?
That was Glen Kelly. He'll call back.
Now, I actually wanted to tell you a little secret, Oscar and Mimi. I know we're live, but if we have time, and I don't know if we will or not, depending on our guest availability and so forth, somebody who was very close to Dibiase, Mr. Dibiase, wanted to try to call in and speak to him. And the person this person is actually the son of the sensational Sherry, the one and only Sherry Martel. Her son Jared actually would like to speak to Dibiase, Mr. Dibiase.
Okay, well when Ted calls and Jared calls, we'll put him through.
If he's okay with that, I definitely will try.
Yeah, tonight is not just about the $1 Million Man and Ted. Tonight's the fan show. We got people walking up and down here in the mall. We're gonna get them on the radio. We're gonna let fans actually call in tonight and ask questions. So yeah, it's that kind of thing tonight. Last week we had nothing but all-stars on. Tonight we're giving back to you, the fans, so you guys get to call us and talk to us, and tonight's a party. We're gonna have a good time, so that would be great to do that.
I do think we have Mr. Kelly calling in right now, so I'll go ahead and put him through.
All right, let's put Glen Kelly right through.
Mr. Kelly,
Glen,
are you on?
Are you at the food court?
Hello?
Oh, we lost
Okay,
Glen
well,
again.
maybe that wasn't him.
All right, anyway, so, Dreamy Mimi, how is your day going? How's everything with you?
Pretty good. I have no complaints.
Well, that's good. So, people, today, like I said, it's been a Black Thursday. From a spiritual standpoint, people start to, die off. How do people who are not, spiritually in tune like you are, how do they look at it in order to not slip into a depression? I mean, in your opinion.
Oh, you said it's easier said than done because even with the relationship with Christ, it's still a challenge. But the key or the thing is constantly to place your mind on the positive. That goes back into anything and everything in our life. If you focus on the negative things, then that's what is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger so you can't see anything but those negative things. And like I said, that goes into relationships. That's how people split up. You once loved a person, but then you get to the point where you don't see the positive anymore. All you see is something negative, and you focus on that, and it gets bigger and bigger. Same thing with being in a situation where you know, lost a career or lost a position, things like that. Instead of focusing on the loss, put your mind on finding out, or putting the energy into focusing on what's next. You know, what can I do next? What are my skills? What am I talented, you know, in? What's my passion? What do I love to do? You know, and one big thing that always helps is if you take your mind and all of that energy off of you and place it on somebody else. It's always something and someone that needs some help. So until you figure out what your next step is, reach out and help somebody else. That'll open some doors for you.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Hey, guys, I just want to let you know that we do have one of our guests calling in. It looks like it is the one and only, the Snake Man, Mr. Jake Snake Roberts.
How's it going, guys?
I'm all right. How you doing? Round 2. Thanks for joining us tonight. How you feeling, man?
Oh, pretty good, man. Just trying to take care of some business on the other phone. So, you know, just trying to get things done, man.
All right. I'm glad you're calling now because we were just in the middle of talking about the legacy of Dusty Rhodes, and my condolences because I know you guys go back to the beginning. But share with us some good memories, some positive memories about you and Dusty.
Oh, he was absolutely fabulous, man. I mean, the best showman this business has ever had. Such a pleasure to be around, and you know, the first time I saw Dusty, he was wrestling my father, so he used to scare the hell out of me. I just knew he was going to kick the living crap out of my dad, and usually he did. But that's when he was wrestling as a heel. Not many people got to see that. Dusty was a phenomenal heel. Great wrestling heel. He was very aggressive and got in there and went after it. But just a super cat, man. Just a great guy to be around, a great guy to teach, love this business beyond and above, and certainly has contributed a lot to it. 2 fine sons doing a great job in it. And, you know, I tweeted out something tonight. I said, you know, I didn't know, there are no words to describe just how awesome this guy was. And I couldn't do it, and there's nobody else who can do it either, so why even try? I mean, that's the bottom line. Dusty Rhodes was Dusty Rhodes, the American dream, man.
Amen.
Just a sweet man.
Amen, amen, amen. Now, for those of us that are really big fans of yours, one of the biggest questions that I have, and that a lot of people, where did the snake come from?
Oh, that was just being foolish, man, driving down the highway, smoking pot and drinking beer, and come up with the stupid idea of having a damn snake with me. But, you know, I forgot one thing, that being I'm afraid of snakes. So I should have remembered that before I opened my damn mouth, but too little too late. You know, I had the idea for some time, and then when Benson then finally said, yeah, we'd like to do that, I was like, holy crap, I forgot I am afraid of snakes. But I got over it fairly quick, or at least I carried it off pretty well. To this day, I don't like them. You know, they're not good pets. Your crap smells like hell, and they bite and everything else. I don't see where the good side is to them. But you know, they're certainly beautiful creatures. But that's about as far as I'll go with it.
Okay, now that being said, they bite and it smell like crap. How did you? What were your methods of traveling with that thing?
Well, man, I had to carry it in a big trunk, and then of course it stayed in the hotel room with me, which it would get out at night, and I put it in the bathroom. Of course, I'd have to go use the restroom 4 o'clock in the damn morning, and it'd be wrapped around the toilet, or tearing down the shower curtain, or ripping the toilet off the floor, or tearing something up, or I just have to go in there and try to use the restroom with that damn thing messing around in there, you know. And I'm sorry, when you pull out your private parts, it's not a good time, you know, for a snake to be around.
This is an amazing story because these are some things I always wanted to know but never knew. Now, how many of the wrestlers were actually really, really, really shitting in their pants when they had to interact with that thing?
Quite a few of them, man. Some worse than others, but there were quite a few.
Who could you say had the worst reaction?
Do what now?
Who could you say had the worst reaction? A couple of guys that reacted kind of badly.
Probably Kamala.
Okay.
Yeah, Kamala couldn't handle it at all. Roddy Piper. Yeah, Roddy pulled a gun on me one time over it, so yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh my goodness! Roddy pulled a gun on you. I mean,
he was serious.
Well, I mean, what happened? You was playing a rib or something, or you just
playing around with it and getting it too close to it? He just assured me it's not a good idea, man. So I took the man at his word. Listen, I'm going to have to get back to this other interview. I just wanted to call in real quick, man. Tell you guys, hey, we're going to be kicking it tomorrow, man.
Okay, real fast, plug what's going on this Saturday. You're here
we're going to wear
Jersey.
it out, man. We're going to wear it out, bro. We're going to be all over that place, man. I can't wait to see the kids and get out there and visit and take pictures, man, and just have a great, great time. So we need some good weather, but even if it rains, I'll be out in the middle of it. I'm not afraid to get wet.
All right, Beachcomber Bar and Grill this Saturday. Glen Kelly Real Estate presents the Eternal Tranquility Charity. Jake, thanks for calling in one more time, and I'll see you back at the hotel.
Oh, we just lost him.
I mean, it is really, really, really awesome when you hear a story that is so funny and something that you just never knew but you always wanted to know.
Yeah, I've been sitting in the background cracking up.
I mean, okay.
I do want to let you know, Oscar, that I have a feeling that Mr. Kelly has been trying to get in, but I can't hear him. When I was screening the calls, I hear a very, very faint voice, like so almost I couldn't barely hear it. So if he's around you or you see him, tell him to try to keep calling. I will try to bring him in, but I can't hear him.
Do you have his phone number?
I don't. No.
Hold on, I'm gonna text it to you. Try calling him.
All right, I can do that.
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. While I'm doing that, Dreamy, tell us if for $1 million, would you travel around with a snake like that?
Oh, mama. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, here they go. Here we go. Ted Dibiase, the $1 Million Man, and Glen Kelly just walked into my office here. Actually, we're at the Glen Kelly offices here at the Monmouth Mall. But this is the Not Your Mama's Radio takeover. And we just had, Jake just called. We just got off. He was telling us some stories about the snake, about how it was wrapped around the toilet when he would go use the bathroom, in the bathtub, here, there, everywhere. So those are some pretty funny stories. And Glenn, we're
gonna try this again with Mr. Kelly.
Okay, he's calling now, so we were having technical difficulties trying to hear you. No.
I've got him on. I don't know if anybody can hear him.
He's not saying nothing yet. We can hear you.
Sorry.
Okay, Glenn, you can talk. We can hear you. Oh, he's dialing in right now. So you must have somebody else.
Okay, I probably do then.
Okay, Ted's calling in right now, so everybody who's here, we're all calling in, we're all working it out. But, those are some pretty
Mr. Dibiase is now live with us. Is that you, Mr. Dibiase? That's Teddy then.
Price for the $1 Million Man.
Everybody's back. I know I do. Just tell me what you want me to do.
Oh, man. Good to see you, buddy.
So,
last time I was on with you, I was like, I was just, on the telephone like along. Now I'm sitting here looking at you, man.
Yeah, we're all right here at the round table at the Glen Kelly office, and we're getting ready for the big charity event Saturday. Tell us all about the charity event Saturday, Ted, before we do anything else.
Well, I know this. I know that Glenn has put this thing together
we're going to have a lot of fun. Wrestling fans are going to get the chance to meet a lot of their favorite, celebrity wrestlers and what have you. Get pictures, take pictures, autographs, and all that stuff. But the cause is a great cause. Anytime you help kids, you're doing a good thing. And that's what the core of this is about. And all the guys that are coming, all of us are going to contribute, part of what we do back to this cause. And anytime, I'm a minister now, and I tell everybody all the time, you can't outgive God. The more that you give of yourself with the right heart, you don't give like, well, if I give this is what I'm going to get. That's the wrong attitude. But if you give out of your heart and you give because you are compassionate about things, then I truly believe that God's going to bless you in many ways.
Now, what we were just talking about, I just asked Jake, we were talking about, we sadly lost Dusty Rhodes today. What are some of your memories, and I know you and Dusty go back to the beginning, what are some of your fondest memories about the American Dream?
Man, I tell you what, my heart is broken. Dusty Rhodes goes all the way back. Dusty Rhodes is one of several guys, including myself, that graduated from West Texas State University. Let me give you the rundown here. It started with the Funk Brothers, Dory and Terry Funk. And then Dusty Rhodes, Dick Murdoch, Stan Hansen, Bruiser Brody, myself, Tully Blanchard, Tito Santana, Manny Fernandez. All of these guys played football or baseball at West Texas State. So that's how far back we go. And Dusty, in his young career, was teamed up with a guy named Dick Murdoch. They were a great tag team. The first time I ever met Dusty was in Dick Murdoch's house in Amarillo, Texas. I still remember it. And but I wrestled Dusty when he became the NWA World Heavyweight Champion. I wrestled him in Atlanta and beyond me. And it's one of those things where we spoke about that night. He looked at me and he said, "You know what, Dad?" He said, "A lot of people think I can't carry this, pay the belt." And it's like, so let's go out and show them tonight. And so we went out and we tore it down. And that was one of the most memorable nights I had. But then when he came to the WWE, and now he wasn't the romping, stomping cowboy anymore, the big fat tough guy. Now he's in yellow polka dots. He even did that so well. Matter of fact, it was in Philadelphia where we shot the angle where he had Sapphire. Sapphire is like I steal Sapphire away from Dusty. Of course, it was all it's all part of the show. I steal her away. I give her all these trinkets and stuff, and finally a Cadillac. It was a scene where we took off the Cadillac and Dusty's chasing it up the, and Dusty and I went around and we just tore the house down in everywhere we wrestled. Then, the other thing that I had the privilege to do, because Dusty's one of those guys, we're kind of like Splitter. And Dusty was 69. I'm 61, so he's about 8 years older than me, so he's like just almost not a generation ahead, but had that much seniority on me. That guys like him and Terry Funk and those guys, they helped me become a pro. They helped me in my early years, and I never forgot it. So now, with Dustin got in the business and started wrestling, eventually he became Goldust, but the first time we ever did anything, I can't remember where we did it, but they had him sitting in ringside, and we did a deal where he comes, he stands up at ringside or something, and I do something to him, and and that got him started. We basically I hit Dusty's kid, and the whole thing breaks into a Donnybrook and down the road we go. So then I had a chance to go around and spend some time with Dusty as well. And Dusty was, a lot of people look at Dusty and they go, he really wasn't a great wrestler. Yeah, he was. I said, if you ever watch him, back in the day, I said, the thing that with Dusty was great at doing, Dusty Rhodes is played it with not only was Dusty a great wrestler, he was one of the greatest entertainers ever in our business. Now, a lot of people tell me that I was a great guy on the microphone. Well, thank you very much, but in my opinion, Dusty Rhodes was one of the top. I mean, as far as entertaining people, Dusty Rhodes, knock him, looking like a monkey, go fit, I mean, die, you feel. I love that guy. I mean, he was so good. And just on a personal level, a good guy who I thought the world of, and my heart goes out to Dustin and Cody and his wife, Michelle, and like everybody else, I'm just kind of shocked. I had heard rumors 2-3 years ago that he was having some heart issues, and then he dropped a bunch of weight. He was looking really good. Oh man, good for you. The last time I saw him was at WrestleMania, and that's what I told him. I said, "Man, you're looking really good, man." And then unfortunately, that's the last time I got to see him. And he is very much loved. He'll be very much missed.
Now, where and who actually trained you?
Well, I got into the wrestling business, back in the territorial days. So it wasn't like I had one trainer. It wasn't like one guy. I mean, I grew up in wrestling, and because of the relationship between my dad, Mike Dibiase, and the Funks, basically Dory Funk Sr. and my dad were very good friends. Again, there was a group there, like my dad, Dory Funk, Bob Geigel, Eddie Graham. These guys were all pretty tight. And so it was a natural thing for me. And I chose West Texas State to go play football. I'd already signed a scholarship to play football at Arizona. And I changed my mind and went to West Texas State so I could be around the Funks. And so I could start into wrestling after football. And so they helped break me in. Dory and Terry Funk, Dick Murdoch, those are the guys initially. A guy named Carl Cox, Cowboy Bill Watts, who was the owner of Mid-South. Cowboy Bill Watts probably had more to do with me developing my psychology of the business and understanding that psychology of wrestling than anybody. So it was a lot of guys, and back in that time, it's a family. And you get in the family, and you're not just really trained by one person. You're exposed to a lot of great workers.
Now,
Oscar?
Yeah.
Oscar, I don't mean to interrupt. I apologize. I do have that person calling in when you get a moment.
Okay, we got a moment now. There's somebody who really wants to speak to you. I'm going to put him on. It is Shelly Martell's son, Jared, who wants to say hi.
Wow.
All right, let's bring in Jared.
Mr. Dibiase.
Yes, sir.
I have to tell you, thank you. You were a great role model. I still remember as a kid, having breakfast with you one morning, and Mom wasn't with us. You had brought me to breakfast. I remember you making a statement, don't ever lose your faith.
Okay, yeah, do that. Okay.
Wow.
And,
okay.
I got diagnosed with cancer in 2012. I had always looked up to you, and I have actually been involved in church since then. I've been involved in my religious beliefs since I met you. You've always been an influence to me. I've never been really able to tell you. And today I had my chance, and I took it. Thank you for everything you did. You were always a great man to me, and I highly respect you and thank you for everything you did. Because if it wouldn't be for God, I wouldn't be here today.
Well, man, thank you so much for those kind words, and but most of all,
you got it right. If it weren't for God, I give God all the glory. A lot of people know my story, and a lot of people don't. But I came to a crossroads in my own life where I had to make a choice. There was a time in my life when I was a big star and I was all full of myself, and I was doing a lot of things that I shouldn't do. And because I was willing not only to come clean and confess all this stuff to my wife and my family, but to make God the primary focus in my life, and then my family, and then my job. Because up until that time, it had pretty much been my job, and that's pretty selfish. So, we all make some mistakes, and I made my share. But I want to thank you for your kind words, because I really thought the world of your mom. She was one of the best. She had a great heart, and she was tough as nails. I mean, in my book, she was tough as any guy I knew. And she would, she didn't take any guff. She wouldn't back down. And she stood up for herself. And I had a lot of respect for your mom.
And that really showed throughout the years, because I remember she would always refer to you as Teddy Bear. And those were the glory days of whenever I remember being on the road with you, Savage, I grew up on the road whenever Baker first came out. It was like ones that I looked up to. And there were certain ones that stuck out more than others over the years. I was highly honored that you were the one that inducted my mom. I really appreciate that, because she loved working with me.
Well, it was my pleasure. I enjoyed your mom. We worked very well together, and again, she was a consummate pro. And I just want to say God bless you, man, and I appreciate your kind words. And keep it up, man. Keep going. Keep
definitely, man. I would like to come see you in Mississippi at your church also.
Okay. Well,
I'm not far from you.
I don't pastor a church. I travel. I travel all the time. I speak and travel all the time. So I guess you could call me an evangelist because I travel. I don't pastor a church.
No, I just thought they had you in their church in Mississippi. Well, y'all have a good night.
All right.
Take care, Jared.
Thank you, buddy.
You too, man. Y'all have a good night.
Okay, Felix, do we have Glen Kelly on now?
He's on the air with us.
All right, Glen Kelly, you're finally on. Hi.
Hey, how you doing, Oscar? Let me tell you, it's a pleasure, it's an honor, and a privilege to have two icons sitting at my booth here at the Monmouth County Mall. It's crazy to be standing here with the $1 million man, Ted Dibiase. I mean, what an icon in the business and whatnot, what a charitable figure and whatnot. And you yourself, Oscar, you've been here all week long for this Eternal Tranquility fundraiser. This has been one crazy week. We're going to be live Saturday, June 13th, noon to 4 at the Beachcomber. We have an amazing charity for the kids at 11:30. All the rest of us are taken. And, we got the lineup of the century. It's going to be amazing. And all the props and all the love in the world to Oscar, $1 million man here live at the Monmouth Mall. If anybody's out there right now and you want to call in and ask some questions to Ted or Oscar, feel free to give a call in. I mean, this is just a show of a lifetime right here at the Monmouth Mall.
What I want to know is, it's 8:43 Eastern Standard Time. What time tonight will we get our 1 millionth like for this show based on your efforts? What time? Because I want to be on Facebook when it happens.
You know what time it is, Oscar, and you know when Glen Kelly, the master promoter of all time, not only promoting the greatest wrestling talent of all time, but the greatest promoter of real estate of all time. When we get out there and we promote, we are the #1 company all over the world who's got a Facebook and social media presence. We blow it up. And when I repost this podcast, Man on a Mission is superseding my boy Stone Cold, Cabana, he's keep going. You're going worldwide, baby.
Cold who?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said.
All right, now, shifting gears, we have two ministers on the phone right now, so we're going to direct this question. On a spiritual level, when a lot of us break out the business, we lapse into a depression, drug addiction, and all that kind of thing like that. On a spiritual level, how do we combat that?
Wow, accountability is the word that comes to mind immediately. I know that even like the shirt that I'm wearing, see what it says. It says iron sharpens iron.
Iron sharpens iron. Okay.
There's a proverb that says iron sharpens iron as one man sharpens another. In other words, we should hold each other accountable. In other words, we should live up to a standard and hold each other accountable to that standard. So if you're accountable, it's like there are a certain group of men in my life who I allow at any time to ask me any question. They know my weaknesses, they know my flaws, and they're the ones that, hey Ted, are you doing this? Are you being tempted by this? And those are the guys who, in a weak moment, if I do something, say something, whatever, those are the guys that I go to and say, hey, look, let's deal with this right now so it doesn't get any worse. And so, accountability is huge. Now, again, I'll give you an example. In the WWE, back when I was there and I was wrestling, they started a drug testing policy, and it kind of evolved. It was kind of like based on the guys. The initial drug testing policy, they said easy to beat. But as they've gone on, now they have a state-of-the-art policy. So when guys get in our business now, they know that they can be tested at any time. There's a company that WWE has hired, and they basically say, you know what, here's the roster. You call them whenever you want to. You test them whenever you want to. You send us the results. So guys that get in this company now, they know right from the get-go, you got 3 strikes and you're out. And that's accountability. In other words, if you know there's something that's like that in place that could potentially cost you your job, then it's a deterrent. It's something that's going to help you, it's going to help you stay away. Again, the more accountability you can have, the better. And, of course, the personal support is, that's why when you go to any, like a rehab program and you see these guys, they counsel each other. They sit down in groups and they talk about it. And especially for guys, it's hard for guys to open up and be honest because men are very prideful. In other words, if you put a bunch of women in a room, within 15 minutes they're pouring out their lives to each other. But you put a bunch of guys in the room and you ask a guy, hey buddy, how you doing? His life might be falling apart. He might have lost his wife and his dog and his car, but he's not going to let you know it. He's going to look at you and say, I'm cool, man. I'm cool. Because his pride is not going to let him, do that. And in reality, you need to get rid of your pride. You need to, what everybody needs to do is understand we all have problems at different times. And sometimes they're different, sometimes they're not. But there's nothing new under the sun. There's nothing that anyone out there listening or anybody in here there's nothing that they're experiencing that hasn't been experienced before. And so when you can get into groups like that and open up and start talking about it, it's therapy. It's like, you know what? I can beat this thing. I know that one of the things my son and I have gotten involved with here lately is just spending time with a lot of guys that have come back from war. We're the soldiers, and I'm not just talking about soldiers that are physically wounded. I'm talking about soldiers whose wounds you can't even see. Because we're losing 23 guys a day to suicide. We're losing more men to suicide than we are in actual battle. And so, but when we bring them to, like, say, a hunting camp, it's a hunting weekend, well, the hunting's fun, but the hunting's really not what the weekend's about. It's about that fellowship. It's about two guys sitting in a deer stand, and then they open up and start talking to each other, or sitting around the fire that night, or one guy's telling his story, and another guy goes, "Wow, man, I identify with that." So that type of counseling, in my opinion, is very important. That a comfortable place where you can open up and share. But accountability, in my book, is huge. So, and anything else we can do to facilitate that, to help guys that, whether it's wrestling or, NFL, NBA, I mean, I know that some of those institutions are starting to counsel guys right when they come in. It's like they're saying, hey, look, because a lot of guys they'll come out of college, get into professional football or basketball or whatever it is, and they go from having no money to being millionaires virtually overnight. Right. So now they got all this money all of a sudden, and so they go out and they buy the biggest, baddest car, the biggest, baddest house. They spend all their money, and then they break their leg, or they tear their knee out, and their career's over. And so it's like trying to help people say, save your money. Anyway, any guidance like that direction, especially with young people, is huge help.
All right, so Dreamy, accountability. What else on a spiritual level should we be looking at to combat these problems? Minister Gerard, go.
Well, I personally think that what he said was very key. Unfortunately, the challenge is getting people to get to that point before they have some type of tragic, where they have to go into rehab, and then going into rehab forces them to be in a group where they talk and share. If we can get to the point where we understand these things, that is needed, that vulnerability is needed. You need to, like you said, let down that pride, because if you don't open up, have someone that you can talk to, have someone that you actually trust to hold you accountable, then you're putting yourself in a place where you can fall prey to whatever comes. Okay. Idle mind is the devil's playground.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
That is very, very true. On that note, we are going to break to a commercial. It's almost the top of the hour. We'll be back with the WWE report, and then after that, we got a couple of fans that want to chime in here at the mall. So you guys hang out. We're with the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase, Not Your Mama's Radio Show. We'll be right back.
Your time is way up. My time is now. I beat Super Cena. Hustle, loyalty, respect. Never give up. That Money in the Bank, I'm going to expose the lie. Marketing, catchphrases, bright colors. That is John Cena. Owens versus Cena, the rematch. You want some? Come get some. Stand up. Be proud. Yo, I had a dream that the world changed. Represent your state. For a minute there was no pain. This is mine. Instead of presidents, Cleveland's red. And now we're Cleveland bound. Give it up for MGK.
Famed hip-hop artist MGK guest stars on Raw. Live next Monday, 8/7 Central. Only on USA.
Lace up.
Man, these new WWF figures, they got real wrestling action.
Our man shows everybody's got a price.
The American Dream will put you to sleep, and Hacksaw's gonna cut you down.
Ooh, he'll pay for that. Let's watch Hogan with my new Macho Master.
Man, Hulkster's gonna put the squeeze on you, and now you're taking the ultimate punishment. Let's get ready!
Popcorn, all of ya!
New WWF figures so close to the real thing, like being in the ring.
Once again, it's time to take a look back at what we saw on Monday Night Raw. Not Your Mama's Radio Show presents The Raw Report with Dreamy Mimi.
This is your WWE report for the week of June 7th, 2015. Well, this week the acrobatic skills of Neville failed him, as in the opening of Raw Monday Night Raw, Kevin Owens put out an open challenge for his NXT championship, and Neville was the one to answer the call. It looks like Kevin Owens is here to prove a point. The merry-go-round begins again. Who's on it this time? Sheamus and Orton, swapping wins over the past couple weeks, but whose turn will it be at Money in the Bank? We will have to watch and see. I'm not one for soap operas, but the Lana, Rusev, and Dolph Ziggler situation is just that. Ziggler's match with Kane was distracted when Lana came out the back to show support, and hobbling after her was Rusev. In the attempt to get away from him, Lana took a spill off of one of the ramps, twisting her ankle in the process. Meanwhile, Kane chokeslammed Ziggler for the win. It's a new day for Eric Rowan and Luke Harper, as they have reteamed to wreak havoc on the WWE Tag Team division. This path sets them on a collision course with the current Tag Team champ, the New Day. When they collide, I doubt that the New Day will overcome the power of this titanic duo. My prediction, by SummerSlam, we will see that title change hands. The Big Show is gunning for Ryback's Intercontinental Championship. Reminiscent of the $1 Million Slam from the 1980s of Lex Luger slamming Yokozuna, it was Ryback who picked Big Show up over his head for another slam heard around the world. It will be a monstrous big man contest at the Money in the Bank. And since Ryback wants to be fed more, Show has plenty for him to eat. With pink saxophone in hand, it was party time in New Orleans style for Dean Ambrose, taking selfies with fans and flossing with the championship belt and rubbing it in Seth Rollins' face that the championship gold was in his possession. Adding insult to injury, it was a distraction by Ambrose to cause Rollins to be defeated by none other than J&J Security. In a confrontation with Rollins, Ambrose will still hold on to the gold, leading up to their epic battle at Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank will air this Sunday on the WWE Network, and all new subscribers can join for free. We at Not Your Mama's Radio send out our prayers and condolences to the family and friends of WWE Hall of Famer Dusty Rhodes. I'm Dreamy Mimi for Not Your Mama's Radio Show.
All right, and we're back. We still got the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase, still hanging out with us. Now, Ted, I'm going to ask you a question that I ask everybody from the old school that comes through here, and it's a question that puts everybody on the spot. What do you think of the product today?
Well, you know what? I'm old school, and I have to agree with a lot of the fans that sometimes I think there's too much talk and not enough action.
All right.
And, I've heard a lot of fans that, I'll be honest with you, it's kind of like people say, well, don't you watch the show? And I go, look, I said, if you had been a doctor for 30 years, would you go home every week and watch Dr. Oz? No.
Right.
So I grew up in the wrestling business. I did it for 20 years and I had a career that was 25. And so I don't go home and watch wrestling all the time. But when fans will come up to me, and I've heard a lot of fans here lately say that they think that the NXT show is a better show than Monday Night Raw.
Right.
And I go, well, and this is without even watching, all I can say is I would attribute that to Triple H is in charge of NXT, and Triple H is the last generation that came up old school, learned how to wrestle, and it's a wrestling show. It's not a 3-hour soap opera drama.
Right.
And that's what I hear. I'm just saying. I'm just repeating what fans say. So I agree with that. It's like I think there needs to be You know, there needs to be more wrestling and not so much drama. You know, and not according to a lot of fans, not so predictable. That's the other thing that I hear.
Yeah, I think Tatanka, when he was on last week, Chris Chavez, he hit it on the head. He was like, during our era, we had characters that that intrigued the fans. It was like a show. Everybody was different.
Yeah.
Now everybody's pretty much the same.
Right.
If John Cena, then it trickles down from there to everybody's just so busy caught up in the glamour of the entertainment that they've gotten away from real wrestling characters. Would you agree with that?
I would have to agree. Yeah, I do.
Now,
but again, I don't want to be one of those old guys that say, "Oh, well, these young whippersnappers, they don't know what the heck they're doing." And here's the other thing, though. Even though that I'm from that era, you know what? I was at WrestleMania this year, and that stadium set a new record.
Right.
They set another new record. I mean,
right.
I go to Scotland, and 6-year-old little boys know who I am. I mean, so I'm like, oh my gosh, which is amazing. So you know what? The product today has a tremendous fan base and a tremendous following. And of course, as an older guy, sure, I would like to see things go back to more like a traditional wrestling than so much drama. And who knows? Maybe will. They say everything. It's like kind of like with fashion. Bell-bottom pants were famous when I was young, and then they said, don't throw them away, just hang them up in the closet because it'll come back around.
Right.
And and hopefully it'll come back around to where the focus is on wrestling and not so much drama.
Now, a 6-year-old boy in Scotland recognized you. Do you attribute that at all to the network?
I attribute that to the marketing of WWE.
Okay.
I mean, Vince is the man, and there's things he does you love, and there's things he does you hate, and out of his own mouth, I've heard him say, he said, you're entitled to your own opinion, and I remember working for him, and he said, Ted, don't ever be afraid to come in and express your opinion. He says, I don't want a bunch of guys that are just yes men. Oh yeah, you're great, Vince. He says, but here's what you need to understand. Ultimately, because we're spending my money, we're going to do what I want to do.
Right.
And I get that. And so, if there's one thing that Vince has been genius at, it's marketing his company, his brand. And I think, because when I walked into the store in Scotland 2 years ago, this little 6-year-old walking out with his grandmother spotted me. I couldn't believe it. I looked at him and said, how do you possibly know who I am? You weren't even alive when I was there.
Exactly right, yeah.
And you know what he said? He said, video games. Video games.
Right.
And so, it's the marketing. And, I thank goodness for it because, quite frankly, if wrestling hadn't been marketed like Vince is marketed, we wouldn't be doing this podcast right now.
Exactly. There you go. That's right. I'll be
honest with you. As much as I love old school, if wrestling had continued in territorial-style wrestling and most TV shows were shot in a studio and the crowd in the studio was like 2 sets of bleachers, it would have died. It would have died and gone away by now.
Okay. Because
it never would have been able to compete with all they have to select from entertainment-wise today. I don't think it would have totally gone away, but it would have never risen to the level it rose.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah.
So speaking of the network,
Oscar, I'm actually here. I got we are broadcasting here from the Monmouth Mall. I got a fan right here on the horn. He wants to ask a question, and of course he was probably asking himself, he's thinking about marketing geniuses, and of course you come up with Glen Kelly Real Estate, and we got him on the line right now. You're live with Ted Dibiase and Oscar. Go ahead.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
All right.
Great. Hey, I got a couple of comments. First, I'd like to thank Glen Kelly for sponsoring this event. It's a spectacular event, and this all wouldn't be possible if the you, Ted Dibiase, and all the wrestlers didn't entertain us. Me and Glen, we be good friends. We're good friends all the time, and we love to be entertained by wrestling. We used to get all the pay-per-views and watch them all, and we thank you for all the entertainment you guys put us through.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Well, very much appreciated. Thank you.
But Mr. Dibiase, what is your favorite match you've been into?
You know, it's impossible to have a 19-year physical wrestling career and wrestle virtually every night and pick one match, because there's certain things in my career that were I would say highlights. One of the first major highlights was wrestling Harley Race when he was the NWA World Champion at the GL Auditorium in St. Louis. It was the first sellout crowd that I wrestled in front of. And it was that match kind of set me on the stage, so to speak, where everybody now knew about this new kid, this guy Ted Dibiase out of I wasn't from St. Louis, but if you became a star there, then everybody was going to find out about you. So that was a milestone for me. Obviously, becoming a $1 Million Man was huge, and so WrestleMania 4 was my first WrestleMania, a tournament. I had 3 matches in that tournament, including the final match, or the featured match with Randy Savage, which, again, this is when Randy turns from being a heel to a baby face, and then I had that run with him and Hogan, and again, another milestone in the career, a mile-marking moment. And then I guess, just as a personal highlight, me and IRS as World Tag Team Champions wrestled, the Road Warriors in front of 80,000 people in Wembley Stadium. That's the largest crowd I've ever wrestled in my life, and that was a special moment as well. So those are a few of the highlights. There's a lot more, but those are some of the top ones.
I'm sure. Came up with Andre Giant all the time. That had to be a highlight too. I heard he was a very nice guy.
Oh, absolutely. I loved Andre. Well, I mean, again, Andre was all part of that whole thing with Macho Man Randy Savage, because post WrestleMania 4, I wrestled Savage, I wrestled Hogan, but a lot of the matches I had were me and Andre against Hogan and Savage, Hogan and any one of a number of other guys. So yeah, Andre was a very big part of that.
Now, was Andre Giant ever considered heavyweight champion? Because I know he gave the belt to you, but was he ever considered heavyweight champion?
Well, yeah, he was heavyweight champion because it was, at WrestleMania 3 a year before, he was champion, if I'm not mistaken, and Hogan beat him, and that passed the torch. Hogan became the man.
Now, my question is for Mr. Kelly over there. How did you come about getting all these wrestlers involved in this charity event?
You have to handpick which guys are out there.
Because he's the $1 Million Man.
Exactly.
And everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, well, I can tell you this: he's got to be the $1 Million Man, because he didn't get me cheap.
He's a $1 million. He's a $1 million promoter.
Yeah.
I think, is it true or false that even Glen Kelly has a price for the $1 Million Man?
Everybody's got a price for the $1 Million Man.
Hey, Carl, we actually have another caller right here at the mall. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, my friend.
No problem. Thank you.
You're on right now with the $1 Million Man and Oscar. Feel free to ask your question.
What was that?
How do you feel about John Cena?
I think John Cena is a fine guy. He's carried the banner for the WWE for several years now, and he's carried it well. The guy is, nobody works harder. Nobody has, represented the company, in my opinion, better than he has in terms of being that guy. And, is he the greatest technical wrestler of all time? No. But does he have a lot of charisma, and is he worthy of the position? Absolutely. There's your answer.
Thank you so much. We get a lot of traffic here at the Monmouth Mall, live here with Oscar and the iconic $1 Million Man.
You know, last month, Ted, we had Independent Wrestler Month here on my show, where we had a lot of indie wrestlers listening, calling in, and we were giving them advice on character and how to break into the business. What is one paragraph you would tell to an indie guy that really wants to make it big in the business, really has aspirations, and really wants to break in?
Oh, wow. You know, number one, if you're in the independent circuit, I would say, number one, whoever trains you, make sure they're reputable. In other words, you know, there's a lot of people that can go out and get a license and buy a ring and call themselves a wrestling promoter and take your money and coach you, but what do they really know about wrestling? Who did they ever wrestle? Who did they, you know, what organization did they ever represent? You know, where did they ever matter? You know, did they ever main event Madison Square Garden? You know what I'm saying? You need to make sure that you're not giving your money to somebody, some idiot, because there's a bunch of them out there, you know, and be misled. The other thing I would say is that ultimately, if you're going to make a living in wrestling today, there's only one company that really makes that feasible, and that's the WWE.
Okay.
I mean, you got to get to them. I mean, yeah, there's a couple other people that are out there, but ultimately, if you really want to make this a living and a livelihood, you've got to find a way to get in front of the WWE and let them see you and get into their developmental program. Otherwise, then wrestling is just a hobby.
Okay.
You know, and that's okay too. You know, because like a lot of times, like when I'll ask guys at the Indies, and I'll go, how many years have you been wrestling? No, I don't ask them how many years. I go, how long have you been wrestling? You know, and they'll say like 4 or 5 years. And then I'll ask them, no. How many matches have you had in 4 or 5 years? Mm-hmm. Because most guys in the Indies, they might wrestle once a week. Mm-hmm. So if they wrestle, if they're fortunate to wrestle once a week, that's 4 times a month. You know, and 4 times 12. You know, that's 48 times a year in front of a crowd. I wrestled 48 times in 2 months. I wrestled every night of the week. So don't tell me how many years you've been. Tell me how many matches you've had, because where you learn to wrestle is in front of a live crowd. And you develop, you know, and that's it. That's just it. It's not. And wrestling is not learning a bunch of moves and rehearsing it and going move to move to move. I never did that in my life. I didn't know what I was going to do until I did it. And that's a skill that you acquire by doing it over and over again. Now, a lot of times that's hard to do in today's world. There's not a lot of indies that can, you know, afford that opportunity. But again, reputable. You know, it was somebody, you know, like before my boys went to the WWE developmental program, they went for Harley Race. Now, Harley Race doesn't get in the ring and wrestle anymore. But Harley Race was world champion 8 different times, and one of the all-time greats. He knows how to coach, you know. So that's where my boys went. You know, Ted did a super job, and then he got hurt and retired. And Brett was doing really well, and then he had 4 knee surgeries in 2 years, and he was done. So, you know, but both of them could have done, you know, very well, and Ted did do very well for a while. And again, got to get a good foundation. So make sure whoever's, and again, you know, don't come up to me if you're 30 years old, you know, and you know, you haven't ever touched a weight, and say how to become a wrestler. I would say to you, too late, pal. Too late. How do you become a pro football player or a baseball player or anything else? You know, you start when you're young, and you go for it, and you get in shape, especially today. You know, I was never a guy, obviously, that had great physique, and I looked like an athlete, but I didn't, you know, I wasn't shriveled and cut and all that stuff. I didn't look like I came off a Muscle and Fitness magazine, but I looked like an athlete, you know, and the other asset that I had that was good, basically, was my ability to project this character. And so, you know, everybody's got a different set of skills. But you know, today's world, today's wrestling, you better look good. You know, they want everybody to, you know, to look, you know, to look like you just came off a Muscle Fitness magazine. You know?
Right.
You know. So anyway,
hey, Oscar?
that's the best advice I could give you today.
Yes.
Hey, I just want to let you know we do have 2 callers on hold. Look like they are fans that they're calling in to ask Teddy some questions. Is that okay, or would you guys be okay with that?
Okay. Yep. Because I'm gonna let Ted get out of here in a minute. But yeah, put him through.
Mr. Dibiase, I wanted to tell. Hello.
Go ahead.
No, this is Dreamy. I was gonna say I didn't know if you knew this, but you're voted on WWE's website as one of the. They have the top 50 hottest people through WWE that have been in WWE.
One of the top 50 hottest?
Yep.
Yeah, the hottest.
Really? Did I hear you right?
Yes.
Is it true, son?
Yep.
Oh, wow. Well,
yep.
Yeah, everybody's got a price, and I set them up again, didn't I?
Did you ever find out what number he was?
No, I didn't look back on there to find out what number he was. I know I was going through, and he's one of the top 50.
Well, if they took that picture very recently, it would be 50, I'm sure.
Oh man, that's an honor. One of the top 50.
The old Ray Merrick.
Yeah, because I mean,
there's
a lot of people in WWE.
That's funny. Thank you for sharing that, though.
Yeah, no problem.
All right,
you want me to go
Felix, we got 2 callers. Let's get them in real quick.
All right, caller, you're on the air with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase, and Oscar.
Hey, guys. How are you doing? My name is Frankie. I called in before.
Hi, Frankie.
Hey, I really don't have... Well, I mean, it's kind of a question. I'm sure Mr. DiBiase's been asked that. I'm a big fan of Mr. DiBiase, but my question is this, and it kind of piggybacks off the last statement. You know, you talked about the NFL, the NBA, like, you know, the 50 greatest, and, you know, those are a lot of good athletes. Same with professional wrestling, you have the greatest. I just want to know, has Mr. DiBiase, like, you know how big you are? Like you're one of the best ever to do it. Like, have you ever, like, you know, compliment yourself or say that you did it? Like, you're proud of yourself. Like, you're one of the best ever to do it. Like, one of the greatest skills, if not the greatest skill. Like, how does that feel to you?
Well, I know he sounds like I paid him to say that. But
everybody's got a price.
But,
are you sure this is his head, son?
No,
it's his nephew.
Well, thank you very much. I really do appreciate that. But you know, the way my dad always taught me. He said, you know what? He said, you know, don't ever brag about yourself. Just go out and do what you do, and do it the best way you can. And if you're good, other people will talk about you. So, you know, that's always what I tried to do.
Yeah, but
thank you so
wait a minute. Wait. You got a lot to. I mean, I understand what you just said. Humility, and I love that about you. But you have got to recognize your greatness. I mean, the $1 Million Man is synonymous with Muhammad Ali, synonymous with a lot of the greats in the sports and entertainment period. You got to look at yourself in the mirror and be proud. I know I do, and I know if I do, you have got to 20-fold to what I see. You have got to see that in yourself. You got to wake up one day and be like, damn, I'm the $1 Million Man. You got to look at I look at my wife someday and I'll be like, damn, I'm Oscar of Men on a Mission. So you got to look at your wife and be like, do you know who you in bed with? You're in bed with the $1 Million Man, Ted DiBiase.
Yeah, you know where I'll be then? In the doghouse. No. She'll tell you everybody got a price. Oh, gosh. Well, hey, guys, I hate to yawn and say goodbye, but I had a very long day, and before I go to sleep tonight, I need to go back to my room and count my money.
There you go. And look in the mirror and be like, I'm the $1 Million Man, damn it. We both gonna go to our room to make sure Jake ain't put a snake in our toilet.
Oh,
That's a scary story.
Oh,
Talk
yeah.
about the snake. Talk about the snake pulled the curtain, the shower curtains down and all that. That damn snake would have been outside the grass.
Oh yeah, I mean nobody hated the snakes more than he did. Yeah, he would shake the snake. He said nobody hated the snakes more than he did.
That's what he's telling us.
I heard stories like that, about the snake getting out. He'd always put it in the bathroom, and they'd get out, crawl into the bed, up into the bed, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Okay.
Anyway, so I'm good now. So now you got me. Now I'm going to go back to my room, check the bathtub, and look under my bed.
I know, that's right. That's an honor, man. Thanks a lot. If I don't see you tomorrow, I'm definitely going to see you Saturday.
All right, man. Love you guys.
Bye.
All right. That was an honor and a privilege. The $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase. Let's hear it for him. Clap, 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 clap. We got some people over here. Hold on a second. There's no free pictures. Y'all got to say hi on my radio podcast before y'all say hi. What's your name, man?
My name's Rob. I play in a band called Vection.
The band called Vection?
Vection.
Okay. And what band do you play in, madam?
Same band, Vection.
Oh, yeah. What do you play?
I play guitar and sing, and I'm a songwriter.
You play guitar? You're a songwriter. Really? What's the best song you ever wrote? The one that's going to get a Grammy?
Oh, the Angel Eyes.
Angel Eyes.
Yeah.
Sing a little bit for us.
Really?
Yeah, really.
All right. It goes, lie you with eyes like an angel above.
All right. That's it?
There's more to it, but I need my band.
Oh, you need your band. All right, and right here, the guy with the glasses. What's your name, man? Oh, you in the band?
No, I'm not in the band. My name's Adam, though.
Oh, he's the roadie. The most important, the guy that gets the girls backstage after the show is over. I hear you.
Let me grab a quick picture of that.
All right, go right ahead. We are having a good time here at the Monmouth Mall. So, Dreamy, are you watching SmackDown right now?
Yes, I am.
Give us a SmackDown update.
It's honestly nothing really to update right now. Paige and Alicia Fox are in the ring. Seth Rollins just beat Dolph Ziggler, and earlier Seth and Ambrose were going at it verbally.
Oh, okay.
And then, of course, Ryback and Show verbally.
All right, so give us some predictions for Sunday, Money in the Bank. What's going to happen, honey?
I last week I already said that I thought that Reigns was going to get the Money in the Bank contract, and I thought that Ambrose was going to get the title. But watching, I think it was SmackDown, Reigns actually said it out just like that, played it and said that that's what's going to happen. So I don't really think that they're going to actually play it out like that if that's what he's already saying on, they got to give us something to surprise us.
Okay.
So I don't know what's going to happen.
All right. Now, Glen Kelly.
Yes, my friend.
Give us a rundown on what exactly we're going to see this Saturday. How's this whole thing going to go down?
All right, Saturday, all the kids for the Eternal Tranquility Dreams Come True charity. That starts at 11:30. That's only for the kids with illnesses and impairments and whatnot for the benefit of Dreams Come True and Eternal Tranquility. That's 11:30 at the Beachcomber. The public event will broadcast live from the Beachcomber on the greatest radio station, not the greatest podcast, because we know what that is, but the greatest radio station in New Jersey, B98.5, from noon to 4, with all the wrestlers. Kurt Angle, Axel Jim Duggan, Tatanka, Tito Santana, Mick Foley, Superfly Jimmy Snuka, Lita, Stunny, Ted DiBiase, Jake Roberts, Robbie E, Balls Mahoney, you name it, the list goes on and on. We'll all be there live at the Beachcomber Bar and Grill. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And then we have a private event thereafter. It's going to be VIP only, and that's up 6 o'clock at the Beachcomber. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be off the hook. It's all 100% charity, courtesy of Glen Kelly Real Estate. Nobody puts on a show like Glen Kelly Real Estate. It's going to be amazing. And this show tonight, another This has got to be another million-plus listener show, baby, with Oscar and Men on a Mission live at the Monmouth.
All right, so that is what's going to happen on Saturday. We're all going to be there having a good time. So, Dreamy, look forward. Okay, let's fast forward. Between now and then, as a fan, from your perspective, and I'm putting you on the spot, what do you think SummerSlam is leading up to? Where do you think this is going? Because SummerSlam is the culmination of everything that's been happening. So where are we going with this for SummerSlam?
I don't know. I'm torn. I kind of think that by SummerSlam, Reigns might get the title. They're just tossing so much stuff around right now. I definitely believe that the tag team titles are going to be that New Day is going to lose the tag team titles by SummerSlam. That's a definite change. And then as far as like even this week, I think Ryback's going to hold on to his title. So maybe SummerSlam he might lose it, but I don't know.
So the big slow ain't going to beat Ryback?
No, I don't think so. Now as far as I'm ready for Cena to give up the U.S. title. So who? I don't know, but I'm kind of outdone with the whole open challenge, and then now Kevin Owens and their little rivalry going back and forth or whatever. It's like,
is that because you're not impressed by Owens?
Maybe yeah.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much.
Okay.
I just don't understand. I've said this before on how I have an issue with how they bring guys in. And like you said it even yourself. They bring them in and they're beating everything that's in their path. Then where do you go from there? Nowhere but back down.
Absolutely.
Out the door. So, I mean, it's not fun. It's not exciting because you don't get to see anyone build up. When you come in the door, beating everybody around. Okay, Rusev, perfect example. You say it again all the time. Rusev came in, nobody could beat Rusev. Now what's going on with Rusev? He's hobbling around on crutches.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do with him. Hello?
No, that's the transition.
I'm sorry?
I said that is quite the transition.
Yeah.
So, what is Rusev's future?
I don't know what they're going to do with him because, I mean, I would have thought that with the way that they were hyping him up and putting him on the rise, I could have seen him, going further and being, one of the top guys, but for some reason they took him off of that track, and now it's like, okay, he's just in neutral. So I don't know what they're going to do with him next. And next, they just started bringing in more guys on top of, and then they're coming in beating everybody that they brought in. Yeah. They brought in Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, and Rusev all at the same time, right?
Right.
Now, none of them are doing much of anything.
Okay.
And now they're doing the same thing.
All right, you focus on Kevin Owens right now, hot and heavy. You got to focus on John Cena because he's the franchise. All three members of the Shield got to be the highest paid people right now because they're in the forefront. And
you said wait, who?
All three members of the Shield.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They're all at the forefront of the WWE storyline. Now you got a parking lot of talent, Sheamus, Orton, etc. What do you do with those people? Because they're still, they went from A+ to B and B+ players, but they still matter. So where do they go? What do you do with them while you're focusing on all this other stuff?
We've said it time and time again. Get better writers. Because right now they don't have anything going on, and it's just dull. I am so sick of, like I just said about the merry-go-round. Okay, Sheamus and Orton, they fight one week, and Sheamus is disqualified because he hits Orton with a chair. Okay, the next fight, Sheamus and Orton battle again, and then Orton gets disqualified because he hits Sheamus with a chair. Come on, really? We can't find nothing better? And it's the same, and it just keeps going on and on and on, the same repetition.
Yeah.
And in a pay-per-view, you might see something a little bit different, but it's still the same. So it's like almost like when you get to the pay-per-views, why do I want to watch the pay-per-view when I've watched this same fight between these same two individuals week after week, most of the time twice a week? So then by the time the pay-per-view comes up, it's just like a toss of the coin who's going to win because they've been going back and forth for a week or month.
Okay, so a good question. You're a writer. From top to bottom, what would you do?
You know what? See, that's not one of my questions. That's what you and Mo and Felix were good with.
No, but what would you like to see? I mean, you know what you would like to see.
I would like to see them mix it up a little bit. I mean, have some. The first thing that I've said was, I can't remember who made this comment and that brought it out, but it used to be that whoever held a title, the rest of the roster wanted that title, no matter what title it was. So whoever held the title had several opponents after them because they wanted that title. So, whoever the top guy is holding the title, give them different matches with different people that are attempting to come at the title, but not him and the same person twice a week, every week.
Oh, okay. So you would gladly bring it back to that?
Yes. No doubt. At least that would mix it up and give us, some variety, give us some actual action, give us some good matches. But this crap now, I'm like, really?
Because, believe it or not, that's what it was.
But that makes sense. If you're in competition and this is what you're doing every night, everybody in the locker room, period, definitely your goal is going to be to win one of those titles at some point. So why not make everything about those titles?
I mean, because, in boxing, that hasn't wavered. The biggest fights are for the titles.
Yep.
And for years, wrestling followed that doctrine. Felix, what do you think?
Well, I'm sorry, I tuned away for a second. What was the question?
No, we were talking about, the basic question is, you're a WWE writer, you're in charge. What would you like to see across the board?
Well, first of all, I'd fire all of us, including myself as a writer, and tell the guys to speak from the heart, let them speak their true emotions so they get it out of them, Don't tell them what to say. Let them speak from the heart. A lot of guys don't really need somebody to talk for them. You know, they know how to talk, relate to the fans.
Yeah,
I mean,
if
you could learn anything from Dusty, is the way he cut a promo. You felt what he said. Whether he was whining and dining with kings and queens or living in the alley and dining on pork and beans, you felt what he said. So first thing would be fire the writers.
And then what would you do? And I'm talking about, be specific. Match for match, who would be champion, who would be U.S., who would be Intercontinental, what programs would you be running?
Well, if I had to go with some of the roster that we have right now, well, I got to ask this question about Seth Rollins as far as his title reign. How has it been? Has it been decent? I'll answer this, and then I'll go into what you were saying. Seth Rollins' title reign started strong, but it's kind of been going kind of weak. If I were to put somebody as the World Heavyweight Champion now, I don't really know if there's anybody worthy of holding that title just yet that hasn't already held it 15 times or 13 times. Not saying that Seth couldn't get better. I think he could. I don't know if Ambrose is ready for it. The series of matches they've been having have been entertaining as far as in-ring performances, but there is a lot of talking. Sometimes you just need to shut up and fight. If I was working that one, I would probably put in a third possibility, kind of like what they did at WrestleMania. Put somebody in there that they would least expect, and maybe have it be one of the young guys, and try to build him up to be something. Because if you don't build for the future, you're stuck living in the past and reliving a lot of nostalgia moments. And don't get me wrong, I'm all about the old school and reliving a lot of the moments that I grew up watching, but you can't do that forever. Fans will get sick of it. If you're putting somebody in the U.S. title hunt, make it fresh, make it somebody new. I mean, I get that they were trying to put Cena in the title picture to give it somewhat of credibility, and I believe he's done that. I believe his job is done. I believe what he should focus on now in his career, which is what he has been doing to a point, is building for the future, working with these young guys, making them look credible, and knowing that, you know what, my time is almost up, so let me focus on building up stars. Kind of like what Jericho was doing for a number of the young stars when he was working with Bray Wyatt, when he was working with, when he was working with Punk. Some of his best work had to have been when Chris was a heel, putting a lot of the younger guys over, working with guys like, even as a good guy too. But I mean, just to give you an example, in the U.S. title, I would like to see, believe it or not, I actually would like to have Zack Ryder back in the picture, because I believe they only capitalized on his popularity because of the fact that his own YouTube show did so well without WWE's input, without WWE's help. He built that up himself. He made it big himself. They took it, they pushed it, and then they crushed it. They need to stop that. They wanted to prove that they could take him out. Well, what's the point of that? If you're not going to build these young guys up into something credible and constantly shoving the old guys down our throats, no offense to the vets, because it's not about putting anybody down, but you got to build for the future. They knew this whole recipe for success before. Why aren't they focusing on that now? I think Triple H is working on it.
Yeah, let's see back there.
I don't see them doing anything about it on Raw. I get that he's in charge of NXT, but you know what? Raw has to be something worth watching for 3 hours. Otherwise, you're not going to really have anybody watching. Here I go rambling on again and on and again and on again. I don't know if I really answered your question. I don't believe I have. There's not enough talent on the roster to really put in title pictures or make them credible champions. I mean, don't get me wrong. New Day has done a tremendous job getting their point across as being hated after trying to be liked. Primetime players come up. I think they have a good chance of doing something. I would have liked to have seen more with Naomi or even Tamina. In the U.S. title hunt, Zack Ryder, maybe Jack Swagger, put him back in the picture. Rusev has the potential to be a great talent once they can get him separated from Lana. That whole One Life to Live, these are the days of our lives crap that I see.
Oh my goodness, I know, right?
That's just really killing his monster heel image that they had for him.
Yep.
You know, and then in the world title picture, Roman had, you know what, I say give the guy a chance. How do we know he's going to fail if you don't give him a chance to even try?
Right.
You know, people were just so hard on him for winning and going into WrestleMania to main event, and they're booing him saying he's not worthy of it and so forth, but you can't rely on Brock Lesnar to be there all the time because you can see he's not going to be there. Give the guy a break. Give him a shot. If he sucks, well, you know what? Well, let us decide. Don't just assume that we're going to assume that he's going to suck if we don't give us a chance.
Okay, whoa. Let me stop you right there. They're not going to let you decide nothing. Let's get that out the way.
They're not.
They have made that apparent. If they were going to let fans decide anything, that show would have changed a long time ago. Raw would be 90 minutes, and then we'd have a lot better content.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. I'll definitely agree with that one. But, I mean, I'm just throwing out some ideas and some input. I mean, that's just my perspective as a fan. What I would see, what I would like to see. You know, I'm nobody... I'm not a writer. I'm not in the WWE. Have no association with them. But that's what I would like to see. You know, when I was growing up watching, whether it was Prime Time or even Monday Night Raw, you had to tune in every week just to see what kind of stuff they were going to bring. The new stars that were coming out. You know, when they put the promo for the debut of Men on a Mission and the rapping, and you know, I'm like, cool. This might be a new concept. It's not something different. It's not the cartoonish type characters from the 1980s. It's different, and it feels awesome. It feels great. So let's do that. Let's Razor Ramon, the 1, 2, 3 Kid. You know, just to throw out names from that new generation era when all the old school guys were going to WCW. They let you guys run with the ball. You guys were young talent, and Vince invested everything he had in pushing you guys. Of course, at that time, wrestling was at a very, really, really rough patch after he had the steroids trial.
Right.
You know, and they were saying that Jerry Jarrett, was coming in to run in case Vince was going to be sent to prison.
Right.
From what I had heard or heard about, but I mean, they had that formula then. Why they can't do it now, I don't get it.
Well, one thing's for sure, they're not listening to the fans. I mean, you know, we can rant and rave all we want to, but they live by their own devices. I say it like this: as long as Vince's credit card don't get declined, he could care less how much money he make, how much money he lose, or what happens. So that's just the way that is.
Apparently not. If they're going to allow the WWE Network to be free for 3 out of the 12 months of the year. I mean, my goodness, people who are already paying for it, I'm sure they're just fuming over everybody else getting it for free.
Yeah, that's yeah, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but I don't know. I'm not sure how they're doing this, but it's like, just for instance, if you came in last month, then you got that month for free. But I'm sure after your month's time up, then you have to start paying like June. But then all the new people that come in June get the month of June free.
Yeah. I know you don't get May and June free.
Right, I'm just saying. So it's just a promo to get people in. You get the first month basically free.
Yeah,
but it's only for new people coming in.
Oh well.
So Oscar, did you enjoy your time at the mall with the $1 Million Man and Glen Kelly and all the fans? And
don't you mean the $1 Million Men? The $1 Million Men, Glen and Ted are both $1 Million Men.
Right. We're actually in the BMW right now, headed back to the Seaside Heights area.
What's up, baby?
Driving in style.
Big pimping over there, my
Kelly
goodness.
Got us in the Beamer. What is this, the 725 or the 525?
Come on, baby, 725 only for you, Oscar, the $1 Million Man.
The 725.
You know what time it is.
And I mean, so Glenn, how exhausted are you?
I tell you what, for an event of this magnitude, I was talking to Oscar. Oscar's what a great guy, what a great friend we became over the past week or so. Oscar came out here early, and he's been hyping and promoting this charity event, getting behind. He's become seriously like a blood brother of mine now. All week, bonding with his family and the Eternal Tranquility Charity Show. And this event of the magnitude of this is like, I was telling Oscar last night, it's like WrestleMania for me. And I haven't slept, and I couldn't tell you, 5-6 days, and trying to put this all together with all these mega, I can't even emphasize, when I go online and I plug in iconic stars and whatnot, people just don't realize how big these stars are that are coming out to support such a charity event for eternal tranquility and the dreams come true. It's an honor and a privilege to bond with Oscar over the past week now. And, to me, I'm looking forward to, although the event itself is going to be monumental, I'm looking forward to Sunday to finally sleep, because it's been nonstop. There's a lot of work behind the scenes. There's a lot of people in the Eternal Tranquility Charity that have just done backbreaking, laborsome work, as well as myself and all my agents at Glen Kelly Real Estate, really, really doing a number to try to make this event be as big as possible. And I got to tell you, I think we're all going to be in for a huge surprise this Saturday. It's going to be 80 degrees, sunny weather, the forecast is calling for. Boardwalk's going to be packed. We got all the WWE and TNA icons coming out live, not only for Glen Kelly Real Estate and branding with us and whatnot, but for a great cause. A lot of big name real estate companies and whatnot, they like to throw on charities and stuff like that. But behind closed doors, 3% goes to charity or something like that. 97% goes elsewhere. This is 100% charity show where Glen Kelly Real Estate doesn't make a dime. And to me, I'm always doing charity, always giving back. I made a lot of success in real estate, as you know, Oscar, and I love giving back. I love helping my community, and that's what my whole company is all about. And all of my agents have to believe in that philosophy. You can't work for me. It's as simple as that. And every one of my agents, testament to them, the backbreaking labor that they put in to make this show be unbelievable, and to host the icons like yourself. Saturday is just going to be such a great, monumental show, and for such a great cause, too. Myself, Glen Kelly, as the owner of Glen Kelly Real Estate, I'm just like, I'm in another world to even be blessed. Driving down the parkway right now, Garden State Parkway, with an icon like the $1 Million Man by my side, and another icon, Oscar, sitting right next to me. I mean, it's just a true blessing to be able to take part in this whole event, and the magnitude that Oscar's helped hype it to coming out. Really, Oscar, man, I tell you, you are like a blood brother to me. I appreciate you coming out. This has been the most amazing experience of my life.
Man, I have no words. I'm choked up that you say that. It's been my pleasure, my honor to be with you and your family, little Draven and Stacy, Tracy, the boys, and I haven't met your in-laws. I mean, I was talking to your father-in-law. He's a World War II buff, so we had a good discussion about the war and about Hitler, and I mean, it's just been a great thing. And yeah, I got to thank you indirectly. I actually had a home-cooked meal yesterday. I had barbecue. We had burgers, we had hot dogs, and we had chicken that was burnt just the way I like it with the good barbecue sauce on it. We had coleslaw, macaroni salad. We had some kind of salad with some walnuts in it. We lit the citronella candles, really, out on the deck. and we was out. Yeah, she laughing because she taught me about citronella candles just the other day, and I didn't know nothing about them. And your mother-in-law had the citronella candles out on the deck, so I didn't sound like an idiot when she mentioned them. I'd have been like, what kind of candles?
What's up, Oscar? You know what time it is. It's all about family. We brought you right into the family. You fit in great. And I tell you what, everybody in the family loved you. Yeah, I mean, what a such a personable guy. Come out And he had a great time. He had a great time. The whole family loved him. He actually even got to meet one of the kids coming out with the Dreams Come True charity event, and he got to see Draven, got to see Oscar early and whatnot, and just what a blessing in disguise you've been. You've been absolutely amazing since you've been here, and I really want to say thank you very much. I actually can't thank you enough.
Yeah, man, we played we played the WWE video game yesterday. It had Viscera on the game, so I had to be him. And the Draven, the little punk, never tagged me in, but that's okay. He did all the work on the game. And then we played Grand Theft Auto. We had a real good time yesterday. It's been a real, a lot of times these promoters have you come out, you sit in your hotel room just bored. It was time for you to do something, but it hasn't been like that. Your whole family has been checking on me and calling, see if I needed anything. Tracy has been wonderful, and it's just been, it's like when it's over, you sad because you can't wait to come back.
Oh, you'll be back, my friend. Just like I'm sure my buddy sitting right next to the $1 Million Man, he'll be back. It's all about charity, and it's all about family, and it's all about making people feel like family. And to be a part of history in the making coming up this Saturday at the Beachcomber Bar and Grill. Oh, by the way, happy birthday, Mike Carbone, my good buddy over there at the Beachcomber Bar and Grill, who's hosting the venue. It's going to be an unbelievable show on Saturday. It's just going to be, we're going to be rocking it. Noon to 4 live, B98.5 radio. It's going to be unbelievable.
Yeah, we just gotta fix my video. Dreamy, if you see a video post on Facebook of a commercial I did, don't watch it because you're going to be my harshest critic and say that this is a mess.
That is.
Are you talking about that commercial that you did for the show?
That commercial that I did for what?
Is that for promoting the upcoming show on Saturday?
Yeah.
I actually hope you don't mind. I actually posted it to the Men on a Mission page because I think Mr.
Kelly
posted it.
Oh, you did that. Okay, no, it's wrong. It's wrong. Oh, my God. If Dreamy see it, she going to be like, this is a hot A mess.
Dreamy, I actually think you're going to love it. It's got the Men on a Mission theme music in the back.
Not going to. I'm telling you now, she's not going to love it.
The $1 Million promoter, real estate tycoon icon, he got on there. He put it on there, got over 5,000 likes. It's probably 10,000 by now. I mean, so 10,000 people like the Oscar. I think you got to critique it a little bit less.
No. What happened was, okay, the rap came out the way it was supposed to, but they tried to put music behind it. The music doesn't go right with the rap. And Dreamy is my harshest critic. When she sees how it doesn't intermix together, she's going to call it a hot A mess.
Dreamy, I want you to go online, check it out.
No, you don't want to know.
Facebook.com/Friends of Real Estate. Check it out. Or I think I even have it on Facebook.com/.
It's on the Men on a Mission legacy page.
There you go. Check it out.
Hello, honey. It's on the Men on a Mission legacy. What?
Oh, it's on your page too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, goodness. Here we go. Okay,
yes,
well.
I'm going to check it out.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
I think you're going to like it. It came out.
You don't know my wife, cuz. She's not going to tell me that I did something that's good just because it's me. She's going to tell me if it's wrong, and if it's either wrong, it's a hot A mess, or it sounds like y'all just threw this together.
Well, trust me, the producer of that never throws anything together. Great guy. Yeah, he came out, he put that together. If we want to pull that background music, we'll pull it. We'll pull it for you, Oscar. Don't you worry about it.
That'll make it a lot better, believe me.
Consider it closed, my friend.
Ooh, yeah, I'm gonna hear about this tonight. Trust me. Dreamy? Dreamy?
Yes?
I love you.
Yeah, I love you too.
I did the best that I could, okay?
Okay.
And I just want to let you know, in my defense, I walked up some stairs.
Yeah, I'm glad they're taking care of you out there. And, yeah, getting some exercise in. Keep pushing them, Glen.
Yeah, I walked up some stairs, and Glen has been trying to get me to eat veggie burgers. A place got to have a veggie burger before when he go there to eat.
Well, I mean, that's a big step. I mean, I was glad to hear about the stairs, so baby steps.
Yeah, so the veggie burgers and old Dibiase is he's high protein, low carb. Some around people that's eating pretty good.
Listen, it's my goal, Dreamy, to try to get Oscar before he flies back. I know he's coming back again because he's doing better than the family now, but it's my goal to get him to try at least one veggie burger. That's my goal.
Oh, that should be interesting.
Yeah, one veggie burger, and
I even think maybe I'm going to take Dibiase the $1 Million Man to get to try a veggie burger, maybe.
Yeah, I think you got the wrong two rascals in the car with you, brother.
Everybody's got a price, you know? If I throw 100 on the table with a veggie burger, he may just take it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, since you put it that way. All right, you got.
I've actually had them before, so.
How you like?
Huh?
Oh, you eating veggie burgers too, Felix?
Yes, sir, I have many times. Very, very good stuff.
All right. Well, I'm glad everybody's eating veggie burgers and having a good time.
Look, when I buy veggie patties or veggie any of the veggie nuggets, any of that stuff, he makes sure that he does not touch any of that stuff in the freezer.
I've been out to lunch with Oscar many times over this week, and I know he's not touching any veggie burgers. Trust me on that.
All right, well, we can talk veggie burgers and veggie nuggets all night long, but guess what? The fastest 2 hours of radio is over once again. Next Thursday, we're going to be here. I have no idea. Next Thursday, Sir Mo and I are going to be broadcasting from Charlotte, North Carolina. And that should be interesting. From Charlotte, North Carolina, we'll be broadcasting.
Ric Flair country.
And then the week after that, we'll be broadcasting from Providence, Rhode Island. So, Not Your Mama's radio show on the road all month long in June. A week after that, I'll be broadcasting from back here to the Jersey Shore, Wildwood, New Jersey, for an event out this way. So we're on the road look like all summer long. So once again, I want to thank the $1 Million Man, Ted Dibiase, Jake the Snake Roberts calling in, and his snake for calling in. And number one. Yeah.
I couldn't even listen to it all.
Oh, why?
She's afraid of snakes?
No. I'm talking about the commercial.
Oh. Okay. Doghouse. Glen Kelly, thanks a lot for being on the show, putting this amazing event together and having us down here. We got to have you on more often just to talk about. We're actually going to do a show one Thursday where you actually explain to us the ins and outs of buying and selling houses.
That's what we're going to do. It's going to be the biggest podcast ever when you bring iconic real estate icon Glen Kelly on the show, baby. That's what it's all about.
We actually are going to discuss that because a lot of our fans want to know how to buy and sell and flip houses and all of other kind of stuff like that. So it's outside the comforts of talking about wrestling, but we talk about everything on this show. So Yeah, maybe after talking to you, we can find out how to do, whether or not no money down is a scam or whether or not that's true, whether or not you can buy and flip houses anywhere and just make a profit. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of questions about real estate, so we're definitely going to bring you back. I want to thank everybody from Felix and Dreamy Mimi. I'm Oscar from Men on a Mission. Good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.